everybody, welcome back for another video. I am Amanda Caton. Today I am going to talk about how to homeschool with a toddler on your face. Well, they might not be on your face, but it might be on your hip, running around your legs, climbing something they're about to jump off. Who knows with toddlers, right? So I wanted to do a quick video about how we've handled having a toddler while I've been doing my daughter's third grade. So I have quite the age gap between my kids. My daughter is 9 and my son is 20 months old. So we've had him, he started walking and climbing things just after he turned 1. So the entirety of third grade, which she is going to graduate from in about 2 months, we have had to do that with a toddler around, which definitely creates some interesting obstacles to overcome. And so I wanted to do a quick video about some of the ways that I've handled those practical challenges, but also how I've overcome a lot of the mental and emotional frustration of trying to homeschool while also trying to keep your eyes on a toddler. So if you've clicked on this video, chances are you are navigating through a similar situation. So I hope that this video is helpful to you. So number one, I think this is the biggest thing, and this is really a mindset change. Embrace the chaos. It's going to be chaotic, and no amount of practical solutions is going to change that, because toddlers by nature are chaotic, and wonderfully so, and so cute, but chaotic nonetheless. And I think going into your homeschool year, just taking a deep breath and saying, yes, it will be chaotic, but we can do it. Maybe it won't look exactly how it's looked for you in previous years or how you've planned it out to be in your mind or on paper, but it will be okay, and you will come up with solutions to make some of the tasks a little easier and a little smoother. So number one, embrace the chaos. Number two is a practical piece of advice, and this is simplify. Just simplify your school. This middle age between like the little baby and then you have these toddler years that are completely insane, and then very quickly they become a little bit more chill. They're able to maybe sit in color for a little bit. Maybe they're able to watch a show, and they're able to have these other activities that don't require you to be 24/7 with your eyes on them. And so really you only have about maybe a year where you're tackling this. Unless maybe you have multiples, you might have a couple of years where you're tackling this. But the best piece of advice I can give practically is to simplify your curriculum. A lot of the time, if you're like me, you want to put in a bunch of really fun electives because they're fun. But sometimes you've just got to cut back and maybe just do the basics. Maybe just focus on making sure that you have your math and your language arts. And if you're a Christian family, your Bible curriculum. Those for me are the big 3. If we can do our Bible curriculum, our math, and our language arts, I'm okay with letting other things maybe fall by the wayside a little bit. Again, it's a very, very short season when you really think about it in the grand scheme of your homeschooling time. And so another thing that you can do is you can start to utilize some more hands-off programs. For example, when my daughter transitions into 4th grade, we're actually going to be transitioning from workbook math to an online math that actually grades it for her, and she'll be able to see as she gets things right, and there'll be videos to help her. So that's one of the ways that we're simplifying things. There are a lot of reasons behind that. It's not just because I have a younger child, and I'll do another video about our journey with math, but finding other ways that you can utilize that free you a little bit more is a great idea, and there's lots of great online programs that you can use for that. Number 3, have grace. Grace on yourself, grace on your children, and grace on your toddler. Sometimes it can get so frustrating. We have a picture of how we want it to be when we wake up in the morning, and how the day should go, and when they should nap, and when this should happen, and when it doesn't, sometimes we can have a lack of grace on ourselves and on our children. And Another important thing on this subject is sometimes we need to have grace on the child that we're schooling. My 9-year-old loves her brother so much and just wants to be with him all the time. And so sometimes it's really hard to say, hey, can you go do that little bit of reading or that little bit of work? And she can see that baby brother's in the living room and she just wants to be with baby brother. And sometimes I can get frustrated, like, go do your work. But then I think, who's your brother? And you love him. And so do I really want to be pushing you to do this work right now? Could it wait? It probably could. Maybe I'm just not having enough grace. Number 4 is utilize normal rhythms. So what I mean by that is, for example, my son has 1 nap a day. He's pretty consistent with it. Not always, but most of the time he'll take a nap anywhere between 30 minutes to about an hour. Very rarely longer, but sometimes. And so this nap time is when we do any kind of school that we need to do together. So our reading for our Bible curriculum, our reading for any history that we're doing, and anything that she needs me for. And sometimes that's when she'll bring her worksheets to me that she's already done, or maybe she just didn't want to do them by herself and she wants to do them with me. That's the time when we utilize that. Another time that you can utilize is if your toddler has any kind of screen time, if there's like a little show that they watch, if they're watching Miss Rachel or they're watching Bluey or whatever, it's okay to do a little bit of school then, to say, hey, come over here real quick, let's do this little science experiment while baby bro is occupied for 10-20 minutes. We've even done school at night, which is, I never thought I would do school at night. It seemed really weird to do school in the evening. But if you roll with it and you make it fun, a lot of the time your kid will find it fun too. Yesterday, we even did school in the car because my son fell asleep. So we did school in the car, and my daughter thought it was super cool that we were doing school in the car. So utilizing those normal rhythms of life and going with the flow, really important. And lastly, loving the season with a grateful heart. The toddler years are wonderfully chaotic, as I said at the start of this video, and we can wish them away so quickly when we're trying to get things done. And so I think when we as homeschool parents live in that place of having a grateful heart and being joyful in the chaos, that is something that catches on with our other children. They're able to also find joy in the chaos and understand that life is about flexibility and having grace on ourselves and enjoying learning. That's why we homeschool, right? Because we want to impart a love of learning. We don't just want it to be a checklist of we have to get this done, this done, this done, this done. We want to instill in them a love of learning and a good amount of flexibility in their life. And toddlers kind of force us to do that. So I hope that this video has been helpful. I know I only had a couple of practical tips, but I know a lot of the time it's really about mindset, and having that shift in our mindset can change everything. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I have many other videos up. I have some curriculum reviews, some book reviews. I share every Thursday a little Thursday thought of what I'm thinking about homeschooling and what the Lord is doing through our homeschool journey. And I hope that it's a blessing to you.